All right, guys, today I'm going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite baits. It is one of the most fish catching baits ever. Was so popular back in like the 90s, 2000s, up until the invention of the chatterbait. And it still gets some use, but it doesn't get thrown as much as it should. All right, and that bait is a spinnerbait. Now, this is one of the all-time fish catching machines. I don't even know how you want to describe it. It was the freaking deal back in the day. And before chatterbaits came along, this is what everybody threw. And then chatterbaits came along and it kind of went down in popularity, and then Alabama rigs and so on and so forth. And now we're at the point where it's freaking you throw a minnow out in 100 foot of water. But this bait is a absolute fish catching machine, and today we're going to talk about it. All right, guys, so these are the main 5 spinner baits that I use, and we're going to talk about each one individually and what water clarity, all that stuff, and the kind of stuff that I'm looking for when I'm fishing these spinner baits. All right, so this is the very first spinner bait. I don't use this one as much, but it is very conditional. You can see the blades are pretty beat up. This is actually the only one that I have, and it has helped me get some money in some tournaments, to say the very least. Very first tournament I ever threw this, literally like 20 minutes in, I was, or like, yeah, 20 minutes in, I was like, I'm gonna get bid on this. Like next cast, I caught a 4 pounder and then fished the rest of the day. It was a really tough day actually for everyone, and then ended up catching like a 2.5 with for like 6.5 pounds, and we got second. People in first had a limit, but that's besides the point. They're the only people that had a limit, and this spinnerbait has done some absolute good for me. And I'm gonna put somewhere on the screen like a chart of the water clarity that I throw it on. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like dingy, but it's not dingy. It's just off-colored water. Like it wants to be clear, but it's not clear. If that makes any sense. I don't know how to describe it. It's just one of those things you just sense and you just feel, and you're like, it's a four-bladed spinnerbait day. I don't know how to like explain it into like logical terms. It's just one of those things like you wake up in the morning and you decide you're gonna throw a four-bladed spinnerbait. Um, I like it. It gives off more vibration than a double willow leaf's gonna give off, obviously, because we have 4 willow leaves on here. Obviously, they're not as big, but I like the profile of this bait. I have no clue what brand this is. I found this in my dad's tackle box and was like, yeah, I'm stealing that. And then this trailer is kind of funky. We'll talk about trailers at the very end of the video. This one's just like, it's a weird trailer. I don't know. It was cheap. That would be the reason that it is on this one. But it helps catch fish. This head, nothing really specific about it. Obviously, like with all spinner baits, your bites are going to come in that like less than 5 foot of water range, around like stick ups, lay downs, that kind of thing. When you hit those stick ups and lay downs, it's going to deflect, and when it deflects, you better get ready because a fish is probably about to bite it. Um, but that for all spinner baits, generally that's the water I'm looking for. 5 foot and up. Anything more than that, you can still get bit, but I don't like it as much, if you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna get bit as much the deeper I fish. Deepest spinnerbait fish I've ever caught was probably like 15 foot of water. Not like actually, but like the water column that the fish was in. It was actually like 40 foot at Cumberland, but obviously Cumberland Green, that's a bit of a different deal. You're throwing on walls. Those fish are relating to those walls, and the fish are coming up off those walls to come and get your spinnerbait. Whereas most lakes, you're fishing flats and you're fishing structure, laydowns, wood, that kind of deal. But all in all, this is a good spinner bait. Very conditional. It's a little bit crazy. I know it doesn't get thrown a whole lot, and there's a lot of reason for that. It's not going to get you bites at all times of the year. Just it's a very situational bait. This one is, and um, white chartreuse. That's definitely your preference. I don't like gold blades as much. I know that there are gold blades on this one, but like I said, I don't throw this one very often. It is just very situational for me. Okay, now moving on to something I actually know what the heck I'm looking at, brand wise and stuff. This is a War Eagle, and it is white. I know War Eagle can be expensive. They're like $8, I believe, um, which does kind of hurt the bank, but spinner baits are worth. going up in price because you're gonna get what you pay for with the blades and stuff. And honestly, I don't like War Eagle as much as the brand that I'm gonna show you in a second. The next two are going to be War Eagles, but what I really want to talk about is these blades. These are custom painted blades, and you can tell that they're chipping. But I hate gold blades. Absolutely hate them. I don't like. I just don't like them. I don't know what it is. I don't seem to get bit as much. I think they give off a little bit too much flash. Um, my mom painted this one for me. Um, I have no clue what paint she used. I need to start painting my own, but this is white and a yellow blade. It's caught me some fish. It's done quite well for me. I like it in a little bit clearer water, obviously, when I'm throwing my white and stuff. When I'm throwing willow leaf, I like clear water just because less vibration, less chance the fish gonna find it. And I don't know how to explain. It's just like you're gonna get bit more throwing willow leaf in clear water. Obviously, everyone knows that, and you can still catch them on double Colorado, but it gives the fish more time to see it. And these willow leaves, you're gonna burn through the water column faster, and those fish are gonna have less time to react. And obviously, they have less time to react. They make rash decisions, and they end up biting a bait. So that's it for this one. Let's get into this one. This is another War Eagle. I honestly don't know exactly which one it is. I mean, it's just chartreuse. It's got painted blades. It's a War Eagle. Um, I've caught a lot of farm pond bass on this spinnerbait. I have one in my tackle box where this front part is like coming loose from the actual like head of the weight because I've just caught so many bass on it. And again, like I said, ow, painted blades, love painted blades, hate gold ones. Anything that's not colored, I don't like. The most I ever throw is like one. I just absolutely hate it. And this is chartreuse, obviously. I don't throw chartreuse as much, but when I do, it's generally on like a cloudy day. If it's cloudy, I like chartreuse in it. And if it's not cloudy, I like just plain white skirts. Um, Nothing else really to say about this spinnerbait. It's one that I use but don't use as often. The next company that I'm going to show you is a spinnerbait that I pretty much always use. It is, in my opinion, hands down, best spinnerbait on the market, but you're going to have to pay the price for it. All right, so this is my all-time favorite brand of spinnerbaits. This is Covert Series. Um, all designed by Jason Christie, probably the best spinnerbait fisherman on the planet. It's got Hildebrandt blades, the best blades on the market, hands down. Um, the other thing I will say, I have had some issues with the blades coming off. Um, Literally just one spinnerbait and that's it. But you're gonna have to pay $10 for these. I'm not gonna lie to you, they're expensive, but the skirts are extremely quality. Really, the only thing that I can say about this bait is I wish that they used a wire tie and not a rubber tie. Because honestly, if you're paying $10 for a bait, it should be wire tied on there. Because like this rubber band that's on this one is already like dry rotted. But the one I'm going to show you after this is my favorite of the Covert series. Um, I've not caught a whole lot of fish on this one. I will say that these blades on this spinnerbait, I don't know, for some reason they just don't seem like they want to run right all the time. Like there'll be times where this is coming through the water and it won't spin correctly, but I don't know, it might just be the real speed that I have on it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna tell you that they always run correctly. But same thing with the other spinner baits. Get around wood, get around cover, you're gonna get bit. This is their white version. They have so many different types of heads, head colors, literally everything. They're so customizable. The skirts on them are absolutely amazing. This wire is amazing. The hook is amazing. The keeper on the bait is absolutely amazing. I can't say enough good things about this spinner bait that just outweigh the bad. And I know that you're saying like, what if the blades don't run right? Why should I get it? Because it is the best spinner bait on the market. And I would rather have the blades not run right once in 100 casts and everything else be better than everything else on the market than do one that's like blades run right. I don't know, one or 199 times out of 200, and like it has a crap keeper, crap hook, crap wire, and it's just going to break on you the first time you catch fish. All right, so this is the Covert series with double Colorado blades. It does have a gold blade on it, which I don't love, but it also has an orange blade. And this thing, oh my gosh, it has won me so much money. It has won me more money than any other spinnerbait in my tackle box. It has caught me more keepers than any other spinnerbait in my tackle box. It's caught me more fish than any other bait in my tackle box. You get in muddy water where it is stained at all, I'm throwing this. It doesn't matter. I want to throw this spinnerbait. I've caught so many good fish on this spinnerbait. When I was practicing for a high school tournament on my home pond once, and I pulled up somewhere, one cast, 3.5 pounder, went to the other side, one cast, freaking, or a few casts maybe, 6.5. I flipped it up in there, 6.5. Oh my, I was like, oh my gosh. And then practice day, we struggled. I mean, actual tournament day, we struggled to get bites, but we ended up with three keepers, got fourth place. I lost like a four, maybe two fours. But this spinnerbait is just absolutely, absolutely incredible. And I know what you're saying, like these colors, what the heck is going on here? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It just gets bit. I'm assuming these bright colors give the fish something to latch onto in dark, muddy water, chocolate milk. But anytime you're in chocolate milk, throw this spinnerbait, please. I'm telling you, it is the best thing on the market. It is this orange blade. Oh my gosh. Early in the spring, late in the fall, it doesn't matter. All times of the year, this is the best spinnerbait on the market. Anytime I'm around dirty water, I will go specifically to the dirty water so I can throw this. In the middle of the summer, I caught fish on this spinnerbait. I caught like two keepers in the middle of the summer on one of the toughest lakes in Kentucky on this. It's just it's such a good spinnerbait. I put my dad on this like I don't know, a couple years ago. He's been using it ever since. My dad's so specific and picky on the baits that he uses, and all you used to throw was like a jig and a worm and a spinnerbait every now and then. When he put the spinnerbait in his hand, oh my gosh, absolutely loved it. I love it. Everything about this. I can't even believe I'm sharing this. Like, this is a secret that I have absolutely guarded so much. Every time I would catch fish with a spinnerbait, I would blur out the picture. I would mark it out. It is hands down the best spinnerbait on the market. Literally everything about it. These blades, they run. I don't know what it is about the Hildebrand Double Colorado versus the Double Willow, but these blades run right every single time. I've never had these blades mess up on me, anything. These blades are just absolutely, absolutely incredible. They give off the perfect thump, the perfect vibration. When they hit something, a fish is coming after it, I'm telling you. Even if you just get bumped, a fish is coming after this thing. I would talk to you about trailer hooks, but honestly, I don't use them very often. I saw Scott Martin lose a fish because of his trailer hook, or almost lose a fish because of his trailer hook, and it kind of scared me, but I'm going to try and get into that this year. But you will have a lot of fish, bump your spinner baits and just kind of nip at them, get the back end of the tail. Honestly, that's what happened right here. I lost the back of my tail because the fish got that, but I just haven't fixed up the trailer yet. Speaking of which, that's what we're talking about next. Trailers. All right, starting off, very first thing we're going to talk about is whether or not to mix or match. So, like whether or not I'm putting this electric shad or electric chartreuse, I think it's electric chartreuse, um, trailer on a white spinner bait. I do both. Sometimes I will match this one up with this like weird off-colored one, but I will say that when you mix and match and you do the colors different, I feel like it gives those fish a little something more to lock onto and grab onto, and I don't think you have as many bumps. But at the same time, you might not get as many bites. So it's a trade-off. Like, do you want to risk the chance of just hitting the back of your trailer and bumping it, or do you want those fish that do decide to commit to actually get your bait and get your lure? That's really a personal decision up to you. And this very specific one, and these two actually, they are Bass Pro Shops, like Speed Shed. I think that's what they're called. They're cheap. They're fairly durable. It's what I use as my trailer for a very, very long time. And if you don't want to go spend a lot of money on trailers, these are definitely good ones to get. They're good. They're durable. Everything about them. I will say that sometimes the colors get mixed and matched because this is not what this one is supposed to look like. I think this one is a black shed. I think that's what it's supposed to be called. It's supposed to look more like this one on my right hand. But honestly, I don't really think that matters as much just because kind of is what it is. I don't think those fish are keying in specifically looking at your trailer and being like, if I want to bite that. You're not jigging a minnow. You're forcing a reaction bite from these fish when you're throwing a spinnerbait. All right, so this next one, this is a 6 cents swim bait. No clue what it's called. No, Divine swim bait. That's what it's called. Just came to me. All right, so this is a Divine swim bait. It is a really, really good swim bait. It's high quality. It feels good. Um, when I caught my biggest spinnerbait fish ever, it was like 6.5. I was throwing one of these on the trailer, but I don't do it very often. I feel like the bites you get are a whole lot less. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the body, the feel, or just the thump behind it. It feels like you don't get as many bites. So that's that one. I don't know what color this is. I got it in a mystery tackle box, I believe. All right, everyone knows what this is. This is a Kitech. Extremely, extremely soft plastic. Biggest thump is swing impact. This is electric shad color. The color, obviously, whether or not you want to mix and match your spinnerbait, that's completely up to you. Um, this is incredible, incredible trailer. Only thing is, they're not very durable. They're expensive. The biggest thing for me is they're expensive. I am personally not throwing these on my spinnerbaits very often because you get so many fish that come up and they just take the back of your trailer, and it's almost like it's not worth putting a freaking. I think each one of these are like $1. You're basically paying like $1 swim bait. I don't recommend it, but if you have the money to do that, have at it. Just an incredible, incredible trailer swim bait. Incredible swim bait. I throw them on my Alabama rigs. I don't really put them on my trailers. You see this one right here? That's what happened. The one I showed you earlier. Yeah, it's they're not durable. No other way to put it. They're just not durable, which is a big thing that you want on your swim bait. I mean, your spinnerbait trailers. All right, so the very, very last thing I wanted to talk about, just really, really, really quick, is times of the year. When am I throwing this? When the heck am I throwing this spinnerbait? I'm gonna throw it early spring until the fish spawn, and then after that, I don't really throw it as much. You can. I generally switch to a chatterbait. I just feel like the vibration it gives off catches more fish post spawn. And then late fall. Late fall, backs of creeks, you're getting bit. I like throwing spinnerbaits, backs of creeks, flats, um, big bluff walls, big spinnerbaits, big vibrations. I like throwing it when the water is dirty the most. In clear water, I do throw it, but generally, if I'm fishing clear water, I'm gonna be honest, I'm out there pinging a minnow because you're just gonna get more bites. Something about those fish being able to see that bait, see the spinner bait, and realize, hey, we've seen that a lot before. We don't really want to bite that. But the thing about Cumberland is, if you do get in dingy water, you can catch them. And most other places like Cumberland, you get in dingy water, you can catch them. Outside of dingy water, good luck. Unless you're throwing a Demiki rig, at least for me personally, I'm not catching very many fish. Um, on without a Demiki rig at Cumberland when the water is clear, or just any other lake for that matter. If the water's clear, I'm generally out live scoping, looking for fish offshore. It just is what it is. I feel like the fish, when the water is clear, they've seen so many baits. They're so like smart and just adapted to these baits that they know what's coming and they don't bite. But when you get in dingy water, those fish have less reaction time and they have to make that decision quicker. And when a predatory fish has to make a decision quicker, more than oftentimes than not, especially if they're grouped up, they're going to make that decision to bite. Because they obviously don't have very much time to react. They don't have very much time to think about it and decide, hey, do I want to eat that? Do I not want to eat that? They're like, oh, hey, a cheeseburger's coming by. I need to eat that if I want to eat today. So other than that, guys, that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed, leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe. Please, it really helps the channel out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and once we do, I will be giving away a spinning reel. Really great opportunity for you to go ahead and get started on your pinging and minnow career, which is becoming more and more relevant and really necessary skill to learn no matter what level you're fishing on, whether it's high school, club, or even all the way to BFLs, pro circuits, whatever. Even though that MLF is kind of straying away from the live scope and MPFL did ban it, it's not going anywhere. Electronics companies spend way too much money and give way too much money to the fishing organizations that host the tournaments. So it is a $220 reel. So if you're interested in that, make sure you're subscribed to that channel. And when we do hit 1,000 subs, I will be announcing it in a video. That video is the giveaway, and all you'll have to do is just comment and stuff. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next one.